look at this. Look at it! A world built on fantasy. Synthetic emotions in the form of pills. Psychological warfare in the form of advertising. Mind-altering chemicals in the form of food. Brainwashing seminars in the form of media. Cold, isolated bubbles in the form of social networks. Real? You want to talk about reality? We haven't lived in anything remotely close to it since the turn of the century. We turned it off, took out the batteries, snacked on a bag of GMOs while we tossed the remnants in the ever-expanding dumpster of the human kid. We live in branded houses, trademarked by corporations, built on bipolar numbers, jumping up and down on digital displays, hypnotizing us into the biggest slumber mankind has ever seen. You have to dig pretty deep, kiddo, before you can find anything real. We live in a kingdom of bullshit.
Without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I hope that you are having the time of your life, but think twice. That's my only advice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary.
As a snake is Russ Wexner. He's not Italian. He's Jewish and he's mafia. I said, I can't be any clearer with you. And they said, how do you know he's Jewish mafia? And then I went on to list everything that I've seen.
To the National Crime Syndicate, which is the Jewish and Italian mafias working together. The Jewish mafia in New York took out the Italian mafia they've been working with all those years and consolidated and basically just took over the whole thing.
When the FBI raided the safe, in that safe, he had a lot of photographs of children, and I know for about pictures of my sisters are in there, because one of the people from his freaking office had told me they were in his briefcase. They were making fun, I'm not kidding you, the pictures of Diana when she was just dating the prince, and Diana's in the corner crying in some of these pictures, and Ghislaine's like, look here, we made her cry. Isn't that funny? We hated Diana, but the FBI is complicit.
I can help you understand the timeline and who participated with Jeffrey Epstein and how he became a spy and what he did when he became a spy. I can help you in all those areas. Because I was there. Yeah, they took over Robert Maxwell's spying records, operations, and moved that to Florida to Jeffrey Epstein's house. That's been a minute.
Yes, he really didn't want the stories to come out about how they were blackmailing American politics.
She said that the Rothschilds were the greatest protectors of her family.
His Majesty's government view with favour the establishment of Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavours to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing should be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine.
Come on now, who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me.
Like, you gotta be kidding me. And then their buildings dot the whole state. So no matter where you are, you see Wexner this, Wexner that. But then when you go to the bathroom, especially as you get close to Columbus, there's human trafficking signs everywhere, Whitney. Everywhere. So when you go to the bathroom in Columbus, on the floor it says, do not speak to anyone, do not walk with anyone, go back to your car. I mean, there's like instructions on how to not be trafficked.
Reports of human trafficking in Ohio are on the rise, according to a new report at the Polaris Project, which works to prevent human trafficking.
It's happening all over the country. The state of Ohio, in fact, ranks 4th in the nation.
Right here in the Buckeye State lies an underworld burning with sex and prostitution.
Ohio, actually, in the United States, ranks as high as 4th in terms of the most prevalent use of sexually trafficked people.
In Ohio, we see the average age of entry into sex trafficking to be about 15 years old.
And I'm sorry, I don't believe in coincidences at all. I don't believe in them. And years ago, when I was in hiding, I was listening to the show and it said, did you know that all human trafficking begins and ends in Columbus, Ohio?
To them, you're just a freak. Like me. I need you right now. They'll catch you. Like never. See, they're wars. They're code. Bad joke. Trouble. Sign of trouble. Those good small cars, them tiny. I'll show you. Your chips are down. These civilized people, they'll eat each other. See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
I mean, they could cut you down, and it was so morally devastating. Like, you just felt useless as a human being when you were told you're nothing because you're not Jewish, you're stupid, you're useless, a useless white girl, a poor little peasant. I mean, just the things that I was called, I was just like, I believed it, because it was like a cult. The problem. Yeah, you wouldn't believe the way Jeffrey Gilland spoke about African Americans. It was like, it made my skin crawl. Anybody who was not Jewish, and you can write about this, but the way they spoke about them, it was really horrifying. And it showed me a great deal about how these people truly believe that they're chosen to do something here. I don't know, it's unbelievable to me.